What's up, you guys? It's Maul here. So I have a confession to make. I've never actually traded stocks before in my entire life. Now I know what you're thinking. This guy's a fraud. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But in my defense, I will say that I have been studying the markets since 2017. I've read countless books, followed dozens of mentors, and spent thousands of hours watching YouTube videos just so I could learn everything there is to know about the stock market. And now I finally feel comfortable enough to share my knowledge with all of you guys. This is going to be a beginner's guide to the absolute basics of trading stocks. So by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to buy and sell stocks, the different types of orders you can place, as well as some basic terminology that every trader should know. All that and more in 60 seconds? Let's get into it. First, you need to understand the difference between a stock and a share. A stock represents a small piece of ownership in a company. When you buy a stock, you're essentially buying a tiny piece of that business. Now, that share can then be bought and sold on the stock market, where the price is determined by supply and demand. The more people want a stock, the higher the price goes up. And if no one wants it, then the price drops. But how do you actually buy a stock? Well, first you need to open up an account with a brokerage firm like Robinhood, M1 Finance, or Webull. Then you'll want to choose the order type. For this example, we'll be using a market order, which is the most common type of order where you buy or sell a stock at the current market price. After that, you'll enter in the number of shares you want to purchase and hit submit. Now, in addition to that, you also need to understand the difference between a limit order and a stop order. A limit order allows you to buy a stock only if it reaches a certain price. For instance, let's say you think that Apple is worth $100. You can place a limit order to buy 100 shares of Apple at $100 or lower. Right? If the stock price falls to $95, you will still not get your order filled because $95 is above your limit price of $100. However, if the stock price falls to $90, then your order will go through and you'll get 100 shares of Apple at $90. On the other hand, a stop order allows you to sell a stock if the price drops below a certain level. For example, if you own 100 shares of Apple and you don't want to lose any more money, you can set a stop loss at $100. If the stock price falls below $100, then you'll automatically sell your shares and lock in your profit. Of course, there's a lot more to trading than that, but those are the basics. If you want to learn more, I'll leave some additional resources down below in the description. Besides that, guys, stay tuned.